Sometimes for some reason it's like really hard to look at your year because you like look at your year, it's like, oh my god, so many things happened, or it could be you think like so little things happen and you have nothing to reflect on. It's a matter of starting on reflections of your year. Once you get that momentum going, it's hard to stop, if that makes sense, because you are in that mode, you're like writing all these things down and everything kind of suddenly starts to make sense. This is a little bit different from just setting goals and resolutions. I'm not saying that you don't have to do it, but I think once you get a clear picture of what is actually happened in this year, what you accomplished and what you didn't accomplish, you will have more of understanding of what you need to accomplish as well as how you can accomplish those things. The other thing for understanding of your goals, it would be very helpful if you had your goals from the previous year that you thought that you would accomplish this year, and kind of looking at that list, thinking what you achieved and what you didn't achieve. And I'm kind of looking at my goals right now. They're pretty vague. If I wanted to be very strict with myself, I could say that I haven't achieved any of those. But if I look at my vision board that I actually created in May when I was going through a very uncertain time of my life, I accomplished quite a bit according to that vision goal. So understanding that, even though it's hurting my ego right now, because I'm like, I think I feel ashamed of myself for not accomplishing all these things on my list. But at the same time, I understand that there is no, yes, there is a possibility that I could have became a popular and famous YouTuber. To be honest, I didn't put myself out there completely. Like, I did the best I could, but of course I could have done more. And there is like other things like receive business analysis certificate. If I look at it right now, like there was no way for me to receive that certificate because the way the courses were scheduled, there was no way I could have finished them all before completing that last course that I needed to get my certificate. So I wanted to have a loving, fulfilling, supportive, kind relationship. In a way, I achieved that. I have that kind of relationship with myself. So I'm okay with that. Now looking at these goals, I'm just kind of like, okay, this was like past version of me. And now when I'm going to be setting goals for this year, could be just 3 goals instead of like 8 goals. But I will know that I will actually do my best to achieve all those 3 goals. So don't get all frustrated with yourself if you're going to be looking at your list of goals and that if you haven't achieved them. Same time, don't get too cocky if you achieved all your goals on your list and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody else. No, you should stay humble and be grateful for the things that you accomplished and the people and everyone around you, including the universe, who help you to achieve those goals. Goal setting is important, vision board is important, but it's also important to be flexible, to remain grateful, and to remain humble. And I was reflecting on a year. It was more like a journal type reflection. Reflection of the year is freaking tough. It can drain you. It can actually maybe give you with more energy and, more enthusiasm to do more things. But whatever that emotions that you might be going through or those through them, just kind of sit with them, acknowledge them, maybe journal a little bit. I don't want to say move on, but give yourself enough time and space to process those feelings. Maybe do something comforting, because I know that certain years are more difficult than the others, especially when you lose a loved one. I know that happened to me 5 years ago. If you are doing this process of reflection on the year, you're also going through a lot of grief, and grief is never like this. It's never straightforward. It's always like this. It's always up and down, and grief, unfortunately, is a lifelong process. You will essentially just learn on how to deal with it better, especially when it catches you off guard. For example, like when you are at work or in a meeting and you need to control that emotional wave that's coming onto you. So essentially, that's how you learn to deal with grief. So when you're going to be in a reflection on the year, give yourself enough space, give yourself enough compassion, because you might be overshadowed by grief and you might not be thinking clearly at what is it that you want. It can also overshadow all the beautiful and good things that happened that year. So make sure that I don't want to say separate, because it's all part of one thing, but make sure that you try and steer away and, give yourself a little bit of space. Have a mindset of, you know what, I will get back to that overwhelming grief, all those emotions that are happening, but I want to reflect on all other good things that happen and see of how I can use them to my advantage to actually help me to get through grief and help me to have a good next year despite of all the bad and sad things that happened. And by no means I'm trying to dismiss your grief here. If those feelings are just too much when you're grieving, just please make sure that you address them, that you sit with those feelings, that you go through whatever that is happening, because that is very important. And then you are more than welcome to go back to the reflections. And it's just a reminder that it's okay if you don't have it done by December 31st. I am probably not going to have all these videos posted by December 31st. I really want to, but I don't know if I will be able to. So anyway, you can start doing these reflections in January. You can start doing them in February. It's okay if your year of growth will start on your own terms. It doesn't have to start on January 1st. People think of January 1st as some kind of like magical time when, all the bad things of, previous year will just disappear and it's going to be a new chapter, a blank page. Really, you can think about it the same way as about like new week, new months, everything, right? Another day can be your new chapter. So keep that in mind. Regardless, I'm hoping that your reflections will be very fruitful, that they will not be too draining, that they will provide you with an opportunity to get a better understanding of who you are, what you want, and what kind of year you want to have. And you will also have more of a roadmap, more essentially like a manual and understanding of how you can actually truly achieve the things that you wanted to achieve. Good luck with that. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video, and hopefully I will be releasing that video very soon. I'm hoping tomorrow. If not, please bear with me. Please stay patient. I'm doing the best I can. So thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.